Hey, it's Wednesday. Time for another Action Figure Adventures video here on SEO Toy Review. Today, we're taking a look at the G.I. Joe Collectors Club subscription service figure, Law and Order. This is a military police officer and his canine. Now, I was a loyal subscriber to the G.I. Joe fan club's figure subscription service, but this time around, I just didn't see as many figures I really wanted, and they're pretty expensive, so I decided to just get Law. I found a guy who orders a bunch of subscriptions and resells the figures, and thanks to him and my buddy Mike Colasante, who went and picked it up for me, I now have Law in my collection. You can see the front of the package recreates the vintage artwork with a slight twist. You know, they need to account for slight variations between the original figure and this figure, so you'll see that Order has the police tactical vest type thing on there, which wasn't on the original figure. On the back of the figure here, it tells us that this is the Series 4 Figure 2 from the Collectors Club. And down at the bottom part, you get his file card. I think Law & Order's biggest moment in G.I. Joe history was their brief appearance in G.I. Joe the movie, along with the other new characters they were trying to introduce. For some reason, they decided to have the police officer have a Cheech and Chong type accent, and one of my favorite lines as a kid was, "Hey, Law & Order, it's like a theme, man. I drive the car, he finds the bombs. We tried the other way, but it didn't work out." Here we've got Law & Order out of the package. We're going to start by taking a closer look at Law. Law is a pretty perfect update of the character. Of course, the club tries to reuse a lot of parts to keep costs down on producing these new figures. So some of these pieces are reused, but it's not obvious, and he really does look like the vintage figure. He's got his white helmet with the MP markings on it. He's got his red shirt and blue vest, green pants. Comes with all the right accessories: Order, the leash, a machine gun, and his nightstick. So I mean, I'm really pleased with this figure, and I'm really glad I picked him up. I was obsessed with the characters that came with pets as a kid: Shipwreck and Polly, Spirit and Freedom, Law and Order, Mutt and Junkyard. I just really like those characters for some reason, so I had to get this one. I'd say the one weakness to the reused parts on this character is that his badge on his chest there is just painted on. That's not sculpted or anything. So it looks a little bit cheesy when you're really carefully examining it, but from a distance and a glance, it just looks like a badge. One additional accessory that Law comes with is a holsterable sidearm. And then, of course, we've got the Order figure himself. He's a black and brown German Shepherd dog, just like the original. And he comes with a permanently attached leash that is kind of stiff and pre-coiled sort of underneath of him. So if you want Law to hold on to Order's leash, it's going to take a little bit of time to get that thing flexed out. It wants to curl right back in. And then of course he's got the tactical vest that has police written on it there. And he's got one point of articulation. His head can turn and be posed just a little bit. So he's kind of nice. I mean, really, he's not too different from the original Order, maybe just a little bit more generically posed, which probably works out better. Here we have the vintage Law & Order next to the Collectors Club Law & Order. I think that the blue on the vest of my vintage Law & Order figure has kind of discolored a little bit over time. It's just got a slight green tinge to it that it didn't have originally. So color comparisons, that need to be taken into consideration. The rest of his colors seem fine, but the vest is discolored a little bit. You can see the dog here. You know, this had a little bit more of a dynamic pose for Order, with his legs spread and his head kind of turned to the side. But the more generic pose of the other one seems more useful for, you know, different scenarios, standing at attention and things like that. And it still doesn't look terrible for being in, like, I smell a bomb kind of pose. So I kind of like that update. One thing that I kind of wish they could have included would be a set of handcuffs. I always thought it was cool that the vintage figure had the handcuffs on the back of his belt there, and that would have been really great. Another like wish list type of thing would have been a way for him to hang the billy club or the nightstick from his belt. That would have been really cool. But you know, like I said, we're reusing parts here. I think his head's probably new, so you know, that's probably about all the new tooling we could get. I know that Hasbro does have molds for little plastic handcuffs. We've seen them with some other G.I. Joe characters before. So it would have been a great pack-in accessory for him. In the comments below, let me know who your favorite human and pet partners are from the G.I. Joe universe. Do Baby Skeletor a favor, hit that like and subscribe button.